In just a moment, Suspense with Lucille Ball.
Hi, Harlow.
Well, look who's here. Say, it's mighty nice of you to be sitting around all week just to hear me tell more about Autolite.
Oh, I haven't been waiting around all week. Why, I was way up in Oregon.
Oh, that's swell. That's swell. Hey, Hap, do you know the real story about Autolite Stay Full batteries?
Well, sure, I know the real story about Autolite Stay Full batteries.
Needs water only 3 times a year in normal car use. What a battery. Stay full, that is. Why, by Cornelius, an Autolite Stay Full battery has more liquid reserve than a centipede has legs, than an ocean has waves, than a rabbit has, well, rabbits. Water, whales spout it, geysers gush it, people drink it, but Autolite Stay Full batteries carry good old Aquapura so long and so well, they take a drink about as often as you have a birthday, a wedding anniversary, and a New Year's celebration. Only 3 times a year in normal car use. And let me tell you something else. You'd better get an Autolite Stay Full battery before...
Before you go on some more, Harlow, let's listen to Suspense.
Suspense. Autolite and its 60,000 dealers and service stations bring you radio's outstanding theater of thrills. Starring tonight, Miss Lucille Ball in Anton Leader's production of A Little Piece of Rope. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Said I'd never make good here in Hollywood. Everywhere I went, it was the same story. Sure, they'd see me, but the minute they took a look at my baby face, all I'd get was advice and excuses. No job. My last try was for a schoolgirl part. I was too baby-faced to even land that one. I was walking home, still wearing the school uniform that I'd bought to help me get the part, when I got the idea. Then I remembered another thing. It was years ago, reading an old copy of the Police Gazette in Grandpa's attic. Printed about 1880, I guess. With their falsely youthful faces, dressed as innocent schoolgirls, these vicious females haunt the vicinity of select young ladies' seminaries. And with their airs of artless girlhood, they entice and trap unwary gentlemen. Some from the best of families. It was funny then. But now, well, those gals were suckers. I take the exclusive gents for all they've got and give absolutely nothing. That's how I made good in Hollywood, up to $1,000 a month good. I just take a little walk. I've got uniforms for all the best schools, and I still have the baby face. So help me, lots of those kids look older than I do. When school's out, I let some old wolf pick me up. They always want to park up in the hills or some other lonely place. I drop my compact. He bends over to pick it up. I let him have it with a special little blackjack I carry. Then I leave, taking their wallets and any letters I find. You'd be surprised at some of the letters some of them do have. Makes a dandy bank balance now and then. Them? Remember, I pick 'em old enough to have families, dignified jobs. Would they want to admit to chasing Bobby Soxers? They never squawk. My landlady thinks I'm the ideal tenant.
Oh, she's no trouble at all, the poor little thing. Infantile, you know. Has to take long walks every day and rest the rest of the time. Never any fun or dates like other pretty girls. Well, lucky she can afford it, I say. Be a county ward otherwise. And so sweet and quiet, uncomplaining, poor little soul.
Yes, Mrs. Tilford is a swell character witness. Of course, I always wear a coat over those uniforms near home, and I keep them locked up just in case she snoops. Yes, I've got a nice career in Hollywood. That is, I I did have until last month.
You going out in this cold, Isabel?
Oh, this is a good heavy coat.
Well, don't you overdo now.
These walks are just what the doctor ordered.
Anyway, you sure look healthy enough.
Oh, thank heaven for that. Anything I can pick up for you on the way back?
Oh, no, thanks, dearie. I got everything done. Goodbye now.
Bye. I was dressed for Miss Cadwaller's school this time, and it was just letting out when I got there. I didn't have long to wait. You know, you get so you can tell by the way the cars move along the street if the guy's on the prowl. This one was driving a big black coupe, and he was a little younger than I liked, about 40, but you can't be too fussy. I stepped off the curb, pretending to look for a bus.
Waiting for the bus?
Why, yes, I am.
Which one?
The Bel Air bus.
Oh, I say, that's a shame.
Why?
I just passed it back there. Broken axle.
Oh,
I think I've seen you passing my house. What street do you live on?
Cameron.
Oh, sure. I'm just over on Bender. Hop in, I'll take you home.
Oh, well, you're a neighbor. I guess it's... Gee, thanks, Mr.
Rice. Alex Rice. Insurance.
How do you do?
Like school?
I hate it. School's no fun. I'd like...
What?
Excitement. Danger. I suppose you think I'm pretty silly.
No. No, I think you're the kind of girl who'll get excitement and danger.
Really?
Yes, really. Look, it's so early yet. I'd like to take the long way through the hills. It's pretty there now.
Oh, yes, I'd love to. I think the hills are divine. Oh, isn't it just out of this world?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Oh.
What's the initial on your bag for?
The initial?
Yeah. Irma?
Oh.
Inez? Ingeborg?
Oh, Ingeborg, you made that up.
No, it's Swedish. Imogene?
No, Irene. Irene Taylor.
A pretty name for a pretty girl.
I'll bet.
You have beautiful hair and eyes and a beautiful throat.
Well, throat.
Irene, you're very exciting.
Oh, Mr. Rice, I dropped my compact.
You don't need it.
But it might get stepped on.
You won't need it.
But I want it now.
All right. Don't yell so here. I'll get it for you. Oh!
Character, huh? Well, here, roll back a little. There. Well, what do you know? Rope. Now, why would a guy carry a piece of rope in his inside breast pocket? Nice wallet. Well, goodbye, Mr. Rice, and thanks for everything. Back home, I showered and changed and settled down to see what was in this wallet worth keeping. Only about $50. What made it so thick was a lot of newspaper clippings. Oh, no, it can't be. But it was. Those clippings were all about the strangler who'd murdered 5 girls in the last year, left them in the hills with a piece of rope around their necks and never a clue. And Alexander Rice carried his press notices. Alexander Rice carried a little piece of rope in his inside breast pocket, picked up girls, drove into the hills. And Alexander Rice wasn't his name. No, his driver's license said Benjamin Carney. I had picked up and slugged the strangler. My latest sucker was the most dangerous man in the country.
For Suspense, Autolite is bringing you Miss Lucille Ball in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
there, neighbor. I didn't get going very well on those Autolite Stay Full batteries.
Now, look here, Harlow Wilcox.
Never mind. I'm right back in there pitching. Gee, if I could only tell you about every one of those 400 Autolite automotive, aviation, and marine products. Well, that takes real breath, lots of breath. And while I'm not as short on taking breath as an Autolite Stay Full battery is on taking a drink, not by a jugful, even I just haven't got enough breath for that.
Well, if you just stop talking so
I
much...
can sure wind up and sound off on those Autolite Stay Full batteries, though. Making camels look like topers is just the beginning with them. They've got oversized electrical capacity plus fiberglass insulation. You know what that means, my friend?
Well, sure, I know what that means.
It means you should find out for yourself how long these batteries are bound to live. You'd have to hibernate like Rip Van Winkle. I guess you could at that if you had an Autolite Stay Full battery in your car.
I've got an Autolite.
By the way those Autolite engineers designed that Autolite Stay Full battery is so darned ingenious by Cornelius that you could pay as little attention to your Autolite Stay Full battery as Rip Van Winkle did to old Father Time. Go down to your Autolite dealer and get one right away. There's no better buy in batteries, my boy, because no better batteries be behind the byline of Barlow Wilcox.
Now, look, Wilcox. Oh, you got bees in my bonnet now. If you'll only pipe down, we'll hear some more of Suspense.
And now, Autolite brings back to a Hollywood soundstage Miss Lucille Ball as Isabel in A Little Piece of Rope. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
At first, I just shivered over my narrow escape. Why, if I hadn't been out to get him, he'd have gotten me. I'd be number 6 in tomorrow's headlines. Then I suddenly realized I was the only one who could identify him. I can't be silent, let him go on killing. I've got to go to the police station and tell them. I started to go out when it occurred to me I couldn't. I didn't dare go to the police and take the chance of exposing my own racket. If that ever came out, and it probably would, San Quentin, here I come. It seems they're a little stuffy about people who carry blackjacks and steal wallets and sell letters. So, instead, I went for a walk. A real one this time, and just tried to think. Pretty soon another thought hit me. He knew I could identify him by now. Strangler was no fool. He'd have me figured out and know the kind of place and time to look for me. And he'd certainly be looking for me, to kill me, to shut my mouth forever. I had to find a way to...
City Desk, Thompson.
I know who the Strangler is.
Who's this?
I can't tell you that.
Oh, I see. Well, what can you tell me? You know his name?
Benjamin Carney.
Carney?
Carney, 1156A, Boydell Street.
Yeah, description?
About 40, 5'9" or 10, 160 pounds, dark hair, eyes, skin, even features. Not ugly, not handsome. Drives a big black coupe, late model.
Got it. Any identifying marks? Mustache?
No, nothing.
And how do you know this guy's the Strangler?
I just know. Goodbye.
Hey, wait a minute.
So you can trace the call? There had been hundreds of phony clues, and he thought mine was another. But surely they'd check that name and address. All the way home, I had a creepy feeling he was around somewhere, following me, waiting. The evening paper barely mentioned my call, just listed it with several others. Radio wasn't very much better.
An unidentified woman phoned in a description of the killer as a 40-year-old brunette, medium height and weight, with no distinguishing features, driving a new black coupe. Police checks revealed that such a man, with the name she gave, had moved from the address given several months before the first of the Strangler murders, but there is no further trace of him. Investigation continues, but it is believed this is another spite accusation. A Portland, Oregon woman reported the Strangler as the man who entered her hen house last night and...
No use phoning again. I didn't think a letter would help much either, but I tried. Being careful it couldn't be traced to me, and mailed it to a newspaper that night.